losing goal tonight?
Earth.
I know you said, that coming out of the last game was the team maybe was a little bit gassed. Can you do anything as a coach to make sure that they have their energy for what's probably the most important game?
Yeah. Well, and we tried to do for this game. We tried to do just by giving them yesterday off. I mean, you got to. Sometimes it's not the physical rest; it's the mental rest to get away from it. So that's what we tried to do yesterday. Not to divulge any information, but we had a meeting this morning regarding that type of situation, how we can be as fresh as we can be as we go through the next couple of weeks here. So I want input from them. So it's kind of a collaboration. I'm not going to tell you about the discussion, but it's all teams are tired this year. I think we have especially a couple of our defensemen, and Urs has played a ton in a situation that wasn't scheduled for him. Those are the few guys that we're really concerned about. So we're talking about it, that's for sure. A huge part of this year. But sometimes we just got to get through it. And really good time to see and evaluate how guys do this. Really, this is why I'm glad we're here. We're getting a chance to see this stuff happen. Anxious to see how we get through it.
How do you avoid guys from grip and sticks?
From
grip and sticks, like worrying about getting that goal, especially that first goal, since what's transpired the last couple of games?
Yeah, we were scoring some goals. In the last couple games, we haven't. There's not much we can say to them. We just try to help them, try to put them in. If we feel a guy needs to be put in other situations to give him more opportunities at it, we try to do that. But there's nothing. A good play needs to happen, and sometimes it's not just a goal. It's just being in a good offensive play, because we can't get in their head to get their confidence. We can't give them that confidence. We can try to help them, put them in situations, but hopefully some things happen to slowly get out of that. And some guys are in that situation. Some guys feel really good, I think, right now. Some guys are in that situation.
I guess kind of following up on that, the first goal idea. Obviously, as coaches, if you could, you would manufacture the team gets the first goal every game. But John Tortorella, after Saturday's game, basically said that, regardless of how tired you are, it's hard to play catch-up every game.
Yeah.
How important is it, given the fact that there are some guys that are probably running on fumes, to get that lead and not be chasing?
And that, like I said after the game, what if TK scores that? We tied up 2-2 within a minute of the second period. I think there might be a different outcome, but when you're constantly chasing it, it's hard. Especially a little bit different story tonight because this team's taking a run too, trying to get in. But when you play against those teams that are out, and we're going to play against some, later on in our schedule here, it gives them a reason, and it kind of puts pressure on you as a team trying to get back in it, and they get freer, because they're just playing free anyway. But then they get a lead and they say, maybe we can take a run and win this game. So it's such a mental change, and when the pressure's on us against Chicago, because everybody's looking, you should beat them, you guys are in it. But then when things don't go well and then it's 2-0, it just doubles up on you. So starts are important. Tonight's start, I'm not going to say it's lethal, because what if we don't start well? Do we just say, okay, you guys won? A start's very important for us to get that type of energy. And it's not physical. That's fatigue. It's a mental fatigue. And I think that's very important tonight.
Jamie's out there again today. Looks like he's been.
Jamie's playing.
Jamie's back in.
Yes.
Are you going to? All right.
He is playing. He's going.
Is he restricted? He
No.
doing anything?
No. He would not be played. He would not be playing if he didn't have his medical clearance. He is playing. And it's up to Shazi how we use him during the game.
Power play as well.
Yep. Yep.
How much of a relief is that then? Because you alluded to the other night with Travis and Cam playing so many minutes. You've got Sealer back now. Now you've got Drysdale back. That give you a little bit more freedom.
It helps, and it gets Yorkie off. We're going to take Yorkie off the power play, okay, to try to cut down some of his minutes and let Jamie run it. And I think it's more of an experienced four. You know, Johnny will be in there. He's an experienced guy, but he'll probably be in the third pair with Z. Okay, but it gives Shawzy I think he can balance it a little bit more too, in trying to cut down some of these minutes because I do the same thing. In the situation we're in, Yorkie and Sandy, we made the decision when all this came down with the trade and all the injuries, they are going to run, and we're going to go with it. So now we'll see where we go with it.
Do you worry about if things don't go well, right? Between now and the end of the year,
Yeah.
do you worry about the negative impact it could have on guys when they're in these meaningful games and they're maybe not getting the results they want?
It depends on the person. It depends on where he sits with the team. It depends on how much he was involved in trying to get the proper result. You know, there's a lot of things that come into play. I don't, it's not about being disappointed. Coaches, we go day to day and try to be the best we can be, try to get our team prepared. And I haven't even thought about that. But when you finish a year and let's say it doesn't happen the way you want, I think players are thinking about, sure, they'll be disappointed, but I think they're thinking about themselves and what role did they play? Did they did they want to play more in that situation? That's what comes up for players. More of an individual type stuff. Again, I don't want to get too much talking about a negative result because I don't think it's going to happen that way. But those things come up. I don't do exit meetings at the end of the year. I think it's a sham. I think it's too much emotion right after a year, and they want to go out and travel and get the hell out of Dodge. My exit meetings are done later on in the summer, and that's when you find out, I think, the proper information.
How do you address it on the bench? And let's say the Islanders score first tonight. Are you a talker on the bench? Are you like giving like a, it's early kind of message, or is it just the guys know what to do?
I think our guys know what to do, but it depends on the circumstance. It depends when the goal was scored, how we were playing prior to that goal against was scored. It's a hard question to answer, Jackie, because there's so many different variables that could be going on. Our players know where we're at. I mean, we know we need to find a way to get some results here. They know how that first goal is important. We just talked about it in the meeting, and so I don't believe in insulting players by just speaking to pound my chest and say the right things. They know, and I'm not going to insult them that way. And I think that's part of allowing them to grow. I don't think we need to hold hands here. We know exactly where we're at. We're in a battle here, and it doesn't need to be discussed, and I'm not going to hold hands.